Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Q&A. Really happy to have all of you here. As always, Morny, without you, we couldn't do this, so thank you so much for being here. Morny, of course, is the guy that runs the Q&A. He keeps track of all of the questions and makes sure that everyone gets their opportunity to ask and keeps the ball rolling, so really thank you for that. If you want to ask questions, remember to join the Discord. Ask your question in the Q&A section on Discord, and then jump into the Q&A lobby, where you will have your opportunity to ask whatever it is that you want to ask. With that said, Moni, who is first?
Right now, it looks like they are getting ready to submit their questions, but we do have a follow-up from last time.
Okay.
D-Rock wanted to follow up on their question.
All right.
So the follow-up question is, do you think they tried to make new Sylvanas and the Jailer, because the whole theme of I'm doing this for the greater, that they were trying to do this for the, I'm doing this for the whole greater good kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like initially was that their setup, that they wanted the Jailer's motivation to be for the greater good, and that was why Sylvanas joined them.
Well, okay, so very interesting question. Thank you for that. And the answer, short answer, is yes. And there's a number of things that actually prove this. So, just in the game, Sylvanas goes through this entire horse and pony show, right? Where she leads the Horde in this sort of holy crusade against the Alliance, beats the Alliance back, and then her final words to us as mortals, to first and foremost, her final words to sort of the whole Horde and the Alliance is that toy soldiers in tin plate howling at the moon, right? Howling for honor. Basically making it out as if you guys don't understand what is at stake here. You don't understand that all of these wars, all of this honor, all of this sort of, grandiose ideas of what it means to be an honorable person means nothing in the grand scheme of things. It just, you don't understand how sort of stupid you look doing this, right? So that's the vibe that Sylvanas gives. Then she speaks to her loyalists, and her final words to us there is that, do not... when next you see me, you will understand. Which suggests, again, that we aren't seeing the fullness of the picture. Now, let's just examine the fullness of the picture, right? Because when I tell you, let's say I'm doing something. Let's say you walk in on me. So let's go outside of the game. Let's just use a real-world example. Let's say you walk in on me, and as you walk in, I have a bag over my shoulder, and you see a cash register completely fucking emptied out. You see a bank vault completely emptied out. And as I leave the building, I look back at you and I say, when next you see me, you will understand. Okay? In that context, what are you seeing? You're seeing a bank robbery go down. Right? It's not fucking hard. There's nothing to see. I am robbing the bank. It's as simple as that. But now let's imagine you do see me next time, and you learn next time that I wasn't robbing the bank. I actually stole money from a drug dealer that is selling drugs to children, right? So I wasn't robbing the bank. I was specifically robbing that person. That changes things, right? It changes things from what I used to believe to what I now believe, because what I did, or what it seemed like I was doing the first time around, is changed by the context of what I was actually doing, because I provided you with this context. So the words, when next you see me, you will understand, suggest that there is context missing. So what we're seeing is Sylvanas, this blood-hungry warrior that just wants to destroy the world and everyone in it, right? Just wants to kill all living. That's what we think we're seeing. Sylvanas then tells us, when next you see me, you will understand, suggests we're wrong about what we're seeing. But we aren't wrong. Because when you get into the Shadowlands, Sylvanas truly is just this blood-hungry general that just wants to see the world burn. she has no deeper motivations. There's no extra layer of context that is missing from the ultimate plan. Her plan was to cause war and kill everyone so that Zuval could kill everyone and dominate everyone. And that is pretty much in line with what we originally thought she was doing already. So it seems like there was a mind shift change that took place. There was a plan for Sylvanas in Battle for Azeroth that did not reach its natural conclusion. Because somewhere along the line, Blizzard changed the natural conclusion. And there's more that the loyalists, the very fact that there is such a thing as loyalists, suggests that Blizzard had a much grander plan for what Sylvanas was ultimately meant to become, right? Just based on the fact that they had these loyalist positions, suggests to you that someone should have agreed with what she was doing. And in the end, no one was agreeing with what she was doing. And that makes it very difficult to sort of quote-unquote swallow what Blizzard put in front of us. And then there's other things that I can point to that doesn't necessarily sort of point so hard at Sylvanas and the story being different for Sylvanas, but just that the story in general absolutely changed. And this, again, we sort of look at previous expansions, so if we pay attention to Battle for Azeroth, even Legion, all of those expansions saw a great many CGI cinematics, and Blizzard have said how they want to push more CGI cinematics, and we saw that build up. Legion had a couple, Battle for Azeroth had a great many, probably the most CGI cinematics we've ever had in a single expansion. And then Battle or Shadowlands had no CGI cinematics, like absolutely zero. The only CGI cinematic we got was the opening cinematic, where Sylvanas goes up and, destroys everything, and then screams, this world is a prison, and I'm gonna set us all free. Which, as it turns out, that's actually not what she wanted to do. She wasn't actually setting us free. And she was just trying to get Zuval to win. But anyway, so, there's like the fact that they changed it. So here's what is important that you should know. CGI cinematics, and I know this because I've spoken literally to the guy at Blizzard that works on these CGI cinematics. I've spoken to Terran Gregory about this. For those of you that don't know, he is part of the cinematic team for Blizzard Entertainment and specifically working on World of Warcraft. A CGI cinematic takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months to finish. It's not something that they can do overnight. They can't do it in like a month or 2 months. He told me, at best, if it's a really short CGI cinematic, they can do it in maybe 12 months. But mostly it's sort of 18 months. That's usually what they aim for. So almost 2 years that it takes them. Now, this means that if the story changed very quickly from BFA into Shadowlands, Jay, how you doing, bro? Every time I watch your stream, it feels like a trying not to come challenge, and you win every time, don't you, bro? And it's kind of like this. So if the story changed so quickly that there was no time for CGI cinematics to portray the new story, then that is, that would explain the lack of CGI cinematics, because all of the cinematics we got were in-game cinematics, or at least in-engine cinematics. And that makes sense because those take far shorter to make. I think Terran told us 4 to 6 months for those, especially with all the new technology they have. So I would say, all in all, I think there's more than enough information and evidence to suggest that there's definitely been a massive change in what Sylvanas was supposed to be and what Sylvanas ultimately became. And it's sad because if I read the story correctly from BFA to Shadowlands, I actually think Sylvanas' story originally would have been incredible. I think it would have been such a good story. So it is a little sad that Blizzard decided not to go with that story, but, you know, what are you going to do? It is what it is. So, D-Rocker, thanks for the follow-up question. I really appreciate that.